What if the reason you're tired, unmotivated, and financially stuck isn't about money at all, but about how many decisions you make each day? From what you eat, to how you work, to when you spend, every choice drains a little more of your mental battery. And by the time you face the decisions that actually shape your future, your brain is running on empty. This video reveals the hidden psychological costs of decision fatigue and how millionaires protect their focus, confidence, and time so their energy compounds instead of evaporates. You'll see how something as small as what you decide before breakfast could be sabotaging your long-term wealth. And wait until you hear number 10. It's the one cost no amount of money can ever replace. Welcome to the Money Compendium, where we uncover the psychology, history, and hidden habits behind real wealth. If you're ready to think like the rich and protect the one currency more powerful than money, your mind, let's begin. Number 1. The cost of constant choice. Every decision you make, what to wear, what to eat, what to work on, subtly drains mental fuel. It's not just metaphorical. Your brain literally burns glucose and focus every time you make a choice. And here's the catch. Most people waste their sharpest energy on low-stakes decisions before noon. By the time the important ones arrive, negotiating a raise, strategizing investments, or solving creative problems, their mind is already running on fumes. Millionaires understand this biological limit. That's why they create rituals and defaults. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit daily, Warren Buffett eats the same breakfast, and Elon Musk schedules his day with machine-like precision. They don't do it to be quirky. They do it to conserve energy for what matters. Because the truth is, decision-making is a finite resource. If you spend it on trivia, you'll have nothing left for transformation. And that leads us directly to the next hidden cost. When your tired brain starts confusing what feels easy for what's actually right. Number 2. The comfort trap. When you're mentally drained, your brain takes shortcuts. It stops aiming for progress and starts chasing relief. That's how decision fatigue tricks you into believing that comfortable equals smart. It's why, after a long day, people order takeout instead of cooking, buy things they don't need, or delay the projects that could change their lives. Your mind isn't being lazy. It's protecting itself from overload. Wealthy thinkers recognize this trap and design their schedules around it. They make major financial moves early in the day when their willpower is strongest. They also automate or delegate routine work so they can focus on high-impact choices. It's not about discipline. It's about strategy. Attention is the real currency and comfort is its biggest expense. So next time you catch yourself picking the easy path, pause and ask, am I choosing this because it's efficient or because I'm tired? That single moment of awareness can save you from years of financial stagnation. But as we'll see next, fatigue doesn't just make you settle for comfort, it makes you outsource your thinking entirely. Number 3. The influence effect. Ever wonder why persuasive people seem to catch you off guard when you're tired? It's not coincidence. It's cognitive vulnerability. When your brain is worn out, it shifts from critical thinking to autopilot. That's when you're most likely to say yes to a sales pitch, sign up for a subscription, or agree to something you didn't fully analyze. Fatigue makes even intelligent people compliant. Not because they're weak, but because the brain craves simplicity when energy is low. The wealthy protect themselves with boundaries. No financial decisions after 7 p.m. No negotiations when emotional. No major commitments made in moments of stress. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on pre-made rules. You can do the same. Write down your "do not decide when tired" list and honor it. Because a single exhausted yes can cost more than a dozen smart no's. And if you think being influenced by others is bad, wait until you see how fatigue turns you against yourself by destroying your ability to stay disciplined. Number 4. The death of discipline. Decision fatigue doesn't just drain focus. It starves your self-control. Every micro-decision chips away at your willpower until your brain starts searching for shortcuts. That's why budgets collapse at night. Why people commit to saving in the morning but end up impulse spending by sunset. It's not about intelligence, it's about depletion. Your brain simply runs out of fuel to resist temptation. Millionaires defend against this by removing choice from key habits. Savings are automated. Healthy routines are pre-planned. They design their environment so good behavior happens by default. They don't depend on motivation, they depend on systems. If you want to mimic that success, make the good thing easy and the bad thing inconvenient. Delete tempting apps. Pre-commit your savings. Set your environment to work for your goals, not against them. Because once discipline fades, fatigue doesn't stop. It goes deeper, warping how you see money itself. Number 5. The perception shift. When fatigue takes hold, your perception of money bends. You stop thinking in terms of long-term value and start chasing short-term relief. You'll hear yourself rationalizing, "I deserve this. It's not that expensive. I'll make it up later." Each phrase is your brain's way of cutting corners when it's too tired to analyze trade-offs clearly. This is the hidden link between decision fatigue and debt. Small indulgences feel harmless, but repeated over time, they quietly sabotage your financial goals. The wealthy combat this distortion by creating meta-decisions, rules that prevent emotional spending altogether. Never buy to feel better. Never invest from fear or hype. These principles act like autopilot when judgment is cloudy. The next time you catch yourself defending a financial choice, pause and question whether it's logic or fatigue talking. Because tired minds make emotional purchases. And emotion is the most expensive motivation there is. And up next, we'll uncover how this mental drain doesn't just cloud judgment, it erases purpose itself. Number 6. The purpose erosion. Decision fatigue doesn't just make you sloppy, it makes you disconnected from your why. Every small decision drains the mental bandwidth you need to stay connected to your larger purpose. That's why halfway through a project or a financial plan, so many people lose momentum. It's not a lack of discipline, it's purpose exhaustion. When your energy is divided across dozens of small choices, you forget the story behind your effort. You stop asking, "Why am I doing this?" and start asking, "What should I do next?" Wealthy thinkers counteract this by designing around purpose, not productivity. They give their decisions a hierarchy. Only what moves the mission matters. Your mind can't serve two masters, meaning and minutia. Choose meaning. The fewer decisions you make about trivia, the more energy you'll have to live intentionally. And speaking of scattered energy, number 7 exposes how this same fatigue doesn't just drain focus, it rewires your ability to pay attention at all. Number 7. The attention deficit spiral. Every tiny decision chips away at your focus. Should I reply to this text? Check my balance? Switch tasks? Each moment of micro-choice splinters your attention into smaller and smaller fragments. Over time, your brain forgets how to stay still long enough to think deeply. When it's finally time to make a meaningful financial decision, read an investment prospectus, weigh risk, plan for the future, you're already in a state of cognitive scatter. It's not that you can't focus, it's that you've trained your brain not to. Millionaires guard attention like an asset. They set tech boundaries, schedule no decision blocks, and create buffer zones for deep thinking. Attention is the gatekeeper of all wealth, the silent force behind every good decision. Lose it, and you lose your leverage. And as we move to number 8, you'll see that once attention fades, fatigue doesn't just drain focus, it drains emotional clarity too. Number 8. The emotional overdraft. When your mental battery is low, your emotions start taking the wheel. You feel overwhelmed and call it intuition. You feel anxious and call it caution. You feel restless and mistake it for drive. Fatigue warps your emotional signals, turning guidance into noise. That's why tired minds overreact to small problems or chase excitement in risky places. Whether that's impulsive spending, revenge trading, or burning out just to feel progress. High achievers know emotional stability is a financial skill. They don't suppress emotions, they schedule recovery. Sleep, solitude, and rest are not indulgences. They're the reset buttons that keep emotion from hijacking reason. Think of emotional energy as compound interest. Protect it, and your judgment grows. Spend it recklessly, and your decisions default to chaos. And chaos leads to the next cost. Number 9, where fatigue doesn't just distort emotion, it dismantles something that is hard to get back: confidence. Number 9, the confidence collapse. Here's the cruel irony. The more decisions you make, the more you start to doubt yourself. Each uncertain choice chips away at your self-trust until even small actions feel risky. You replay mistakes, second-guess good ideas, and start believing hesitation equals safety. But confidence isn't a personality trait. It's both a habit and a skill. Millionaires keep theirs intact by removing friction and creating proof loops. They use checklists, frameworks, and feedback systems so that success feels consistent, not accidental. That consistency rewires the brain to trust itself again. Fatigue whispers, "You can't." Confidence replies, "You're already doing it." Every time you simplify a process, you rebuild that internal trust, and self-trust compounds faster than money. And yet, there's one cost even deeper than confidence. One loss no one can recover once it's gone. That's where number 10 comes in. Number 10, the lost hours. Every draining decision is a withdrawal from your most precious account: time. You don't notice it at first, a few minutes debating what to do, what to buy, or when to act. But those fragments add up. 30 wasted minutes a day becomes a lost month every year. Millionaires save that time with systems. They automate what doesn't need thought, delegate what doesn't need their hand, and eliminate what doesn't serve their future. Every automated decision is a deposit back into freedom. Because the ultimate cost of fatigue isn't money. It's the moments you'll never reclaim. Each unnecessary choice robs your future self of focus, creativity, and peace. And when you finally realize that wealth isn't about how many decisions you make, but how few you need to, that's when freedom really begins. By now, you can see that decision fatigue isn't just about being tired. It's about being disconnected. Every unnecessary choice steals not just energy, but clarity. Millionaires don't guard their wealth first. They guard their attention, emotion, and time, because those are the engines that create wealth in the first place. The goal isn't to make more decisions, it's to make fewer, better ones. When your defaults support your dreams, your brain finally has the freedom to think, create, and grow again. That's how true financial peace begins, not through more effort, but through more intention. And if you've ever felt like your stress at work is more than just stress, that it's something deeper, our next video will show you how to manage pressure and productivity when your past is working against you. It's one of the most personal and practical episodes we've ever done. So let me ask you, what's one small decision you could remove from your day starting tomorrow? Drop your answer below, and let's start reclaiming your focus, one choice at a time.